All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
The Legend of Vox Machina, Season 2, Episode 5. Oh boy.
All right.
One
last
vestige
episode
down.
was
Here we go.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, where do we go next?
Where do we go next? Maybe that vision of the mountain that you saw, but then wait a minute, hold on. Ripley was shown at the end there in a very ominous kind of way. Hopefully that doesn't cause any complications.
No.
Yeah.
But we're very excited about this next episode because, okay, if that's all the stuff going on in the rest of the world, the party now has to kind of come back together and have a little bit of like a, okay, that whole thing happened. We're going to be a little bit more careful now.
Yep.
But
We will always look for traps.
But we're also going to be kind of watching, Vax, and Vax is probably going to see a little bit of some things going on there.
He'll be a bit more brooding than usual.
Yeah,
Just
the
saying something.
party also just, having to interact more over this whole stuff that's developing there. But yeah, all right, y'all. Without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, Keyleth Saramente.
Oh, Mom leaving.
Yeah.
Listen to that, Keyleth. Do you hear it? The wind? Whoa! Now, listen to that. Wind, fire,
And the earth and water.
Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony.
Yeah.
But don't touch it.
never hold back. Here. See? We were made to pass through fire.
Whoa.
Cool. Wait.
Only if you let it.
Fire can only hurt you if you let it. Will be very ironic later.
Oh, you're evil.
We're so close to Pyra.
Is that where you're from?
No, I'm an Erishari. The Fire Ashari live there.
Ah.
Okay. Oh, right.
How long has Grog been gone?
Huh.
That long to pop a squat.
This is Grog we're talking about. I'll go check on it.
Yes. Are we gonna get the? Yes.
Craven eggs? Look, so I love They're flying apart. It's like a dream. Can I ask, ever be full? Can you play me a tune?
Yes. Yes.
Sure, yeah. In an outhouse on the edge of the world. Oh, so, where was I? What's in this for you? Man, I sympathize with that.
You used a big word right there.
Mm-hmm.
In-
Incorrectly,
correctly,
but
correct.
but he used it.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that was the big one.
Oh.
Oh my God. Keep it coming.
Yes.
Keep it coming.
Leave me alone!
Hey, buddy.
I just need to stretch my legs.
I don't sleep anymore.
Yeah, I walk away.
I don't
Again.
need to.
I love their dynamic so
Yes.
much.
Hey, Scanlan. You know all these magical words and such. Mind taking a peek at this? Holy shit! What did you... How did you do that?
How about this? I'll tell you the magic word for a favor.
What favor?
Oh, Melanson. Oh, woo! Max, you are missing out. What?
Oh.
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 Whoa.
Scanlan! I swear to the gods I will restring your lute with your own
All right.
There you go.
We can't detour every time we see someone in trouble.
Uh-huh.
It's just someone in trouble. It's her people.
Brother, Keyleth would drop everything to help us. Especially you.
He's a bit, nervous about dropping everything to help somebody, at the moment.
Ooh, is this maybe where she'll learn a new transformation?
Mmm.
Are
Mmm.
you okay?
Hey, there's Dad.
Through.
Yep.
Keyleth. The rift to the fireplane was torn open.
That's impossible. It's been secure for generations.
It was a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
He laid waste to our people.
He's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Big one.
Keyleth, I need you to come with me. Normally, the lodestones keep the gateway sealed. But when the dragon destroyed them, the rift was torn open.
Dad, I don't know if I...
We're lucky you came. You've been on your Aramente. Your mastery of fire must be far beyond ours.
No pressure.
Hey!
Nice to see you again.
Allura! You guys are dead!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Fire away. Fire me.
Scan them! Word, please!
Just say yes to that favor and it's all yours.
Ah!
Hope you fall into lava, asshat!
If we fetch your friends, can you buy us some time?
Okay. Okay.
Certainly try.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying, but none of these guys got bloody inside.
What's that, buddy?
I just love me some blueberry pie.
What?
Very flammable.
Yeah, of course Percy would be freaking out.
Hey! Wait, what? Allura fucking Visorin!
But I'm pleased to see you as well. Keyleth and her father need our help.
Yeah, here we go.
Well, she whisked us away at the last second. Nearly shat my arm off.
We knew if Thordak was free, it meant the rift was open years ago.
Oh, here we go.
Thordak with a group not unlike yours.
Damn.
Okay.
Damn.
But we were outmatched. The soul anchor. And
Nice.
bind him to it. Like an arcane tether, it pulled Thordak into the fire plane.
And now it's on his chest. Yep.
Uh-huh. Yep.
It's a Thordak-sized hole right there.
Yep.
All right, Keyleth. This is it.
I mean,
I think he said to use fire, but
yeah, it's just too hot. And they just
Yeah.
made that explosive. Yeah. Yeah.
oh shit!
Oh, crap.
fuck!
Lightning. I hunger. What? Till you got no blood. Then find me some.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
It's Volantier.
Valentia? That's more like it.
All right.
Together!
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well.
You got to do this.
The truth is, I haven't finished my trials. I'm too scared. I'm not ready.
Ooh. Mm,
Hey,
nice. Yeah.
Do it.
Pass through the fire.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm Keyleth, in Arashari.
Keyleth, what are you doing?
Oh. Oh.
Come on. Yes.
Yeah.
All the way. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Here we go. Turn into it. Yes. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Fire Elemental Keyleth. Yes.
Go.
With the stags. Holy shit. Fuck, that's so cool. Alright, you gotta go through it though. Oh god. Vax feels like he's losing everybody.
Yeah. And then,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, is this also how she learns plane shifting?
Yeah.
Caleb,
What?
gave me a heart attack.
Also, did the gem on her forehead change to
I
red?
don't know.
The air is shining. From this day forward, you have the blessing of Pyra.
Thank you, Flamespeaker.
And a word of warning on your journeys. Thordak escaped with aid from someone posing as one of our own. Mind telling us how you did that?
When the fire took me, I could feel the connection between the planes.
Traveling between planes.
Hey, you're right!
Yeah. And just like that, Matt's prep got a lot more difficult.
Yep. Yep.
Please take care of each other. Especially that one.
Oh, okay.
We'll do what we can to help rebuild Pyra, then head to Whitestone so this one can heal.
Aw.
Plus, we gotta check on what happened to Singborn.
God.
Ah.
Yes.
Thanks for earlier. That was actually kind of you.
I mean, what was I gonna do? Let you die? Again?
And because I'm so mature now.
I give it back.
Accept your terms.
Oh. Oh.
Care to seal the deal?
I hate that bear. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gold pleases us. For now, nations will quake and tremble under the reign of the Chroma Conclave.
A reign that will sadly be short-lived.
Oh,
I love it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Let's
Oh, here we go. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
We got all the character focused stuff here.
Yep.
And then Keyleth getting her fire elemental form, plane shift.
Yep. I love the way.
Backstory stuff tied in here.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
way that the D&D mechanics are being worked into narrative beats of character growth, I adore.
Love it so much,
It's
yeah.
it's working so well.
Yeah.
And also just the way in which they're working in the character moments, I feel like is working so much better in this season versus the previous one.
And they needed to introduce the characters almost
Right.
more still as to who they were.
Well, they needed to introduce the characters, but I also feel like because the Briarwood arc was only one season, even though it was shorter, right? It's something where there were a lot more concrete plot things that needed to happen in particular ways that they needed to be able to communicate.
Whereas you can tell that with this section of the story, they're very much setting things to be fulfilled later on
Right.
in the story, not just necessarily soon, but potentially way later.
And the
it's
idea of
really
like,
good.
oh, we need to travel around the countryside and like get the stuff, do the thing so that hopefully we can defeat the dragons. That's a lot more like compartmentalized, I feel like, so that that way they can take whatever pace they want for the different things, so that way they can do the things that are the most helpful for introducing us to not to these characters as they are on screen, not
Right.
just being homages to like the campaign and stuff. So
Yeah.
love it. Keep
Love
it up.
it. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. And
So good.
more calamity stuff. More calamity stuff.
Okay, remember, spoiler free in the beginning.
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
Jacob.
No, who knows
Spoiler
what that
free.
is? Yeah, that could be
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, yeah. So specifically with the focus on Keyleth, we've now had an episode so far focused on each member of the party.
Yes.
Each member of the party is getting specific focus here. We had a
Awesome.
little bit with Grog, and we have a little bit with Vex, and we have a little bit with Vax, and then we now have a little bit with Keyleth.
Yep.
Having each character get that kind of main character status for the episode feels really good for us, because then all the other characters we know, okay, cool, they're there, they're involved, but they're more there to kind of add texture and flavor and react to specific things in the way that they would typically, react to things.
Right.
And thus, we then get not just them doing that for when Keyleth has her awesome moment with the portal, we also get them getting reminded of their specific things that they're dealing with, like with Vax.
The armor, he can't take it off. What do you do about that? Okay,
He's getting more visions.
He's getting more visions, right? This was not just something where, it was helpful back then. It was like a one-time deal or whatever. No, the consequences of the bargain that you made are having a present, constant effect on your life.
Yeah.
In a similar way, another person's sort of bargain,
Necessarily one they fully understand.
right, is having a very present and, continuing impact on their daily life. What happens when the sword that's like, I want to drink blood, what happens when suddenly you're fighting fire creatures that don't have blood? Like, what do you do?
Oh.
That's complicated.
I loved the way it guided his hand towards Pike specifically when Pike and him had been having the little backpack fun.
Yep,
And he specifically didn't know his own strength, knocked her off, and was
Right.
like, hey, Grog, gotta be careful, you big bully.
Right.
And it's like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That. The Pike Grog dynamic was always like one of my favorite character dynamics from campaign 1. It's just
Same.
It's so fun, it's so wholesome and sweet and everything,
Yeah.
and just seeing them joke around and everything, it's perfect. So, whatever happens with that whole scary, ominous thing that was being set up there, hopefully it's nothing bad.
Hopefully, yeah.
But, yeah, we'll see. We got the bathroom conversation.
We did.
Like-
It's a legendary moment for the campaign, y'all, where
Yeah.
they found a way to make it work. They put it here,
Yep.
and it's funny as fuck. And unfortunately, Scanlan's song kind of had to be faded into the background so that we could
But
have,
hey, we got the full version of it in the credits.
Yes.
And I really appreciate that as kind of just like a policy. They did that in the first season.
Yes.
And so continuing that just in perpetuity, where it's hey, if Scanlan does a song, yeah, obviously we're not necessarily going to be able to show the whole thing, but
show
you're
more of it
going
in
to
the credits.
But
Yeah.
you're going to get the full song. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
I still would love to have the full soundtrack where it's maybe the credits wasn't the entire song, but it's we could get a 2-minute
Oh yeah,
version.
no. At some point, they're going to release the Legend of Vox Machina Scanlan album, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be 15 songs on there by the end. It'll just be a full-on CD. Not that people necessarily do CDs anymore, but you know what I'm talking about.
Because I know that they put a lot of the stuff up on Spotify for season 1, but I would love to have a more dramatic, longer version of a lot of the songs as well. But yeah, okay. The teasing of the stuff with Thordak being 1 from the fire plane, but 2, a person posing as one of the elves came and set him free. Who could that be? There's no one that really fits the bill right now. In
Not at all.
terms of stuff there, that's more of oh shit. That's really scary to think that someone could do that.
We have had one situation, though, where someone was able to take on another form. That was in the very beginning of season 1 with the Durgan. So, could be something different. It could absolutely be something different. But that is the one other instance we have had of someone being in disguise.
Yeah.
So.
So something to be a little bit concerned about.
Right. And now we know what that thing was that was on Thordak's chest.
Yep.
It's something that they used to seal him in the plane of fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's
It's not doing what it was supposed to.
Something that's just fused to him, and it's doing nothing there. He's either just overcome it, it's been dispelled, or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But then we also had Ripley
Ripley offering a deal to Umbrasyl.
Yeah.
Oh, I am so excited for this.
That-
Ripley was one of the characters that back in I keep saying that, season 1, that I was like, I can't wait for all the animated show only people to get to meet Ripley.
Yep.
Ripley is
Ripley
one
is
of
very
the most
fun.
one of the most terrifying characters from campaign 1.
And just a great example of Percy's past continuing to haunt him.
Yes.
Right? You know, because it's like if you have something where you have a character, whether you're talking D&D or like an actual TV show, right, where you have an arc, there's a character that's focused there, their antagonist, whatever, and then it's done and it's wrapped up. That's cool, but like, what if you could have them like still be around, still be doing their thing, when the narrative has shifted focus away from the from the Briarwood arc, away from Whitestone and Percy for the most part. You know, what could they get up to?
Yeah, Percy's kind of been in the background for most of the dynamics here. He kind
Which
of
is
had
fair,
his
'cause
moment of spotlight
he had
in
a lot
season
of it
1,
in season 1, yeah.
And now it's his time to be like, okay, now how do I figure out how to be normal in this band of weirdos?
Not get blown up while I'm fighting fire-breathing
I
creatures
love
because
that.
I'm carrying
I'm extremely
gunpowder.
flammable. I love the idea that he literally has all this stuff carried with him because they show many times the little bag of holding thing that they have. But it's I'm sure Percy is like, no, I keep all this shit on me.
Right. Just
on
at the
me.
very least,
I
just the
don't
bullets
trust.
that he needs to, have easy access to like reload into the guns and stuff. So like that could get pretty bad.
So that's also super fun. But yeah, the music for Keyleth's moment, the
was awesome.
stuff with her father and her mother, it's really cool. Because I feel like this was one of the things in campaign 1 that we could have gone into more, and they didn't, because a lot of it had been just stuff that had been done before they even started streaming.
One of the things that Critical Role just generally does as a policy that is a lot of fun, but it's also something that has a cost associated with it, is they are just playing their D&D game.
Exactly.
Right? There isn't really like accommodations for like the audience for the most part. Right? So they'll play it the way they always play it. So if it's something of like, oh yeah, your mother that went away back then, it's talking, it's Matt and Marisha talking about that, and because that's something that they all know about and things like that, right? We, the audience, didn't get insight as to what exactly it was like when her mom left,
Right, and a lot of things that happen on screen are done with those kinds of things contextually in mind, but given that Critical Role has hundreds of hours of content, it's not something that even the average viewer is necessarily going to be able to keep in mind constantly as if they remember everything. But if it's your character and you've spent hundreds of hours with them, you know everything about them. You also have all these notes and things on them. You don't need to have all that stuff reminded to you.
Exactly.
Therefore, you can do things and stuff and have it all just make sense internally, and then we as the audience get to see kind of that secondhand effect of it.
And so getting this so that way we can have something closer to the perspective on Keyleth that, say, Marisha and Matt would have as, playing and DMing, right? That's something that's really cool to get and is one of those benefits that you can have because it's an animated series.
Animated show,
you have to reintroduce the characters for a whole new audience, potentially, that won't have seen the campaign and don't need to see the campaign.
And you need to visually explain, sometimes in the most efficient way possible, exactly what's going on through their mind and what they're feeling without, shoving it down our throats. So it's something that I really like episodes like this because everyone gets to have their feelings put on display for this really impactful character moment, but it's not just a thing for the characters, it's a thing for us to get to know them because it's really only been, a little bit of time since we met Vox Machina.
Right.
And so things like this are like, we're now actually getting foundation for some of the characters that had effectively none,
Right, it was the
season 1.
The offhand side comment, jokes about, like shoving someone down into lava, things like that, and it's this season, I feel like in particular, has done a fantastic job of moving quickly, but not feeling rushed, right? So it hits all the things that it wants to hit. It's exciting. It keeps me on the edge of my seat, but I don't feel like it's ever brushing past things, Right. So, way to go.
Way to go. I am ready to go into the spoilers.
Me too,
here. Okay, let's talk spoilers here. So.
Yeah, if you're not, haven't seen the campaign, get out of here.
You haven't
all
seen
that
campaign
stuff.
1, get out of here.
You know the drill.
Yep. So we're gonna talk about someone coming and releasing.
Yeah.
Back. Yeah.
I see you, Raishan.
Yeah.
You sneaky bugger.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait for the moment when Raishan actually approaches Vox Machina and is like, "Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
I need your help."
Yeah. My
gonna be
favorite
so
my favorite
cool.
part about this too is that by bringing Allura and Kima in, the same thing there, it brings the idea into the viewers' heads of survivors of the dragon attack could be found again later.
Right.
And thus we can have someone who, oh yeah, you're just one of the council members.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait,
Yeah.
I thought you died. No, we were fine. We teleported away. Oh, okay. There is an actual explanation for it. Next time it happens, they might just be like, "Oh, we thought you died. That's great that you're still alive." Not look too closely at it, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. Also then having Grog have his moment with Craven Edge, where it's like next episode, literally this will be followed up on. Based on the way they've been pacing this out, next episode we're getting a Craven Edge
Oh yeah.
party problem.
I think so. I think that's definitely happening. But at the same time, because they're seeding so many different things in each episode, like that's one of the things that's just been blowing me away.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure when it's coming. And so even though we as the audience, or some of us as the audience that have seen the campaign, right?
We can be like, I know that these things are going to happen.
These things are going to happen at some point, but because they need to change some things because, to adapt it and things like that, you have to do that. The outhouse conversation isn't actually in an outhouse, right?
Right.
We don't actually know. We might think that the stuff with Craven Edge is going to happen later, but like I thought that the Craven Edge thing might have actually happened in this episode at that point, right? That Grog's eyes were just going to go red or something like that, and then he was going to attack Pike, but it didn't. So it's like, oh, okay, good. We can still breathe that sigh of relief, and yet still be on edge of like, but that is going to happen. When is it going to happen?
Yeah, I think the Craven Edge very smartly realized that there was a way that if this came down to it, they could yeetus Craven Edge into another dimensional plane. And was like, yeah, maybe
okay,
this is not the best time to do it.
Not quite.
I should do it when they're sleeping,
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh,
But,
man.
oh, that's scary.
That's going to be fun.
But yes, having Allura and Kima in there, bringing about the larger world conflict to scale there. Now Vox Machina having some allies as well for future stuff to come back through later.
Also,
pretty cool.
Something else that I think is kind of fun to note here, right? So, planar magic.
Yes.
Going across the planes. Awesome. That's a new level of magic that's pretty out there, right? Before now, we have seen teleporting, but it was like Keyleth doing her transport through the trees and things like that.
Right.
We got the plane shifting. That's a nice evolution of that. But we also had it established that there are other people that can do similar things.
Yeah, Allura.
Allura and Kima, right? Or Allura specifically, when she teleports them all away, it's like, oh, that's a thing that she can do. There are people that
She's
are very
the strongest
powerful in this
mage
world.
that we've met in the story.
Exactly.
Yes.
So things of that nature, okay, that's something that we as the audience need to adjust to as being something that can potentially happen.
Yep.
So when that becomes a lot more common in future episodes and future arcs and things like that,
Yep.
it will feel natural. So love it. Like that's a fun way that they can introduce the leveling up of the players and yet have it kind of feel like it's just a unveiling of the way that this world works.
And you know what this means, because they're not undoing the Keyleth can plane shift stuff. That means we're getting the fucking Feywilds of sorts, and they're going to find some way to adapt that. But that means we're also getting a very specific character in the Feywilds.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
That will be very interesting.
That would be very kinky. Other thing, specifically, Ripley making a deal with Umbrasyl.
Yeah.
And the herd showing up as well.
Right, because now that happened, I can't remember. I don't know if there were Goliaths with her when she fought Vox Machina.
I don't know, but they might use the Goliaths instead of the others.
To show that it's like an alliance of some kind?
Or that it's a thing of where this is what forces the tribe to engage there, as there being a third party to this whole thing.
Right.
But it's the thing of where they find out that Grog is amongst them because she's got the info.
Sure. Yeah.
And then they
Okay, I
go,
like it.
oh, wait, what?
Yeah, and then that's also how we can get backstory for Grog and Pike.
Mm-hmm. With everything with Kevdak and...
With Kevdak, with Pike's
Yes.
grandpa, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, grandpa, right, because your parents are...
Yeah.
But then as a result
A
of
bit
that,
tricky.
that can be the way that then they firmly establish to us the dynamic between Grog and Pike.
Yes.
So that when Craven Edge makes Grog attack Pike, it's going to be this gut-wrenching, well, literally for Pike, but for us, it's going to be this, like, you know, just crazy thing to witness because, oh shit, no, they're best buds, you know, that, like, no, we can't have this happen.
Yep.
Yeah. It's...
Proper foreshadowing is really fun in fantasy stories and stuff like this, but it's especially important that you do this because when you have high fantasy crazy shit going on, you need to make sure that the rules are clearly like established and followed so that when they're broken,
Right.
people go, oh, I understand how this very specific instance here allowed things to be broken.
Right.
And since we're dealing with god shit and very powerful items and stuff like that, this is all building up very nicely to when we go into high level stuff.
And on top of that, you don't just want it to the rules to be clearly established for when they're broken, but you want to communicate to the audience of why it will be meaningful when this is broken.
Yes.
Right? So that way, like, you can kind of see it coming. You're like, oh, okay. But you're also dreading it and things like that, as opposed to it just being something that comes out of nowhere. And then you just kind of feel like, you know, just...
And in some ways, it's rather fun that because so many of us are just
Right.
people that know what's happening, the foreshadowing is extra
Yes.
juicy.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
it's I know what that means.
Right.
I know what that means.
It feels like the perfect way to do fan service for the people who already know what's going to happen,
Right.
while at the same time making sure that you don't need to have seen the campaign.
Right. So in some ways, the goal of having some level of fan service in the story makes it easier to find methods to introduce foreshadowing for specific things, like
Right.
just the broom being this gag all up until now. And then it's also a mechanical thing for remember, Scanlan is the one that can read the magic script.
Yep.
And thus, he is then going to be useful for later stuff, but also having that be a thing where it's we need someone that can fly now to deal with all these flying enemies. Okay, cool. Yeah, get her up there. Yep. Awesome.
I am very curious, though, what the favor ends up being, because I can't remember.
You don't remember? Oh, for some reason, I remember it being something related to what he wanted to see, I think.
Well, no, okay, yes.
I think it was something like that.
But the thing is, the way I remember it, it was in Scanlan's mansion, right? And, you know,
Doesn't she flash
the fried
him?
chicken and all that. No. She flashes Grog when he fights Earthbreaker Groon the next time, and he ends up being able to beat him.
Right.
Right. She flashes him for motivation and inspiration, right?
Yes.
But with Scanlan reading the
gosh.
thing, it was in the mansion, and he like gets himself set up with like a silk robe
Right.
on his bed with like, you know, incense burning, and,
Yes.
you know, and things like that, and like playing music, and it's like, okay, yes, of course, Scanlan, but you know, and so it was like the flirty kind of a thing, but I don't think there was an actual favor exchanged.
Maybe he never uses it, and that's kind of one of the sweet things of Scanlan is that he's like,
sure,
no, we're gonna be friends for a long time, so there's no rush.
or maybe he uses it to like prank somebody. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
who knows? Well, it'll be
Yeah.
fun to have like things like that where we forget, and it's
Exactly.
That's what
That's
it was.
right.
Yeah.
Or that's how they use it to, you know, justify this thing that was just the players being, you know,
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's, you want to see the full-length timer version of this reaction, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. Any level support there gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about other animated shows, and the Critical Role campaign in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all next time.